Hello my dear students, the next lecture at the transmission lines T section and pi section of transmission line, as well as we see attenuation constant and phase constant about the attenuation constant and phase constant also. So let we go in this transmission line. We seen yesterday a short section of the transmission line, that is a AB here. This top conductor, bottom conductor is a Z0. Characteristic impedance is present in the short section yesterday we seen. Determination of Z0 for finite line terminated in Z0. Consider a short line terminated in its characteristic impedance Z0 as shown in the figure. The characteristic impedance terminated. The short line is symmetrical network and hence can be represented by the equivalent T section. We are representing with the equivalent T section with this short line. The figure 1.9b this figure we shows such a representation is the property of a symmetrical network. This is the symmetrical network. See, our transmission line input impedance as well as output impedance is same. At that time we have to take the symmetrical network equivalent for the transmission line. So that is the equivalent T section we are taking here like this. It is known that finite line terminated in Z0 behaves as an infinite line, hence the input impedance Zin of the equivalent T section network also must be Z0. So the input Zin is equals to, from this T section network, it looks like T section network. So from this T section network, Zin is equals to Z1 by 2, this Z1 by 2 plus Z2 parallel with the Z1 by 2 plus Z0. So Zin is equals to Z1 by 2 plus, see here resistance 1, resistance 2 are parallel, R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. Similarly here R1 R2 is both are in product, R1 plus R2 means Z1 by 2 plus Z0. This is the old term we have to take like R2 impedance. It's the R1 R2 like parallel. General, you know already parallel network R1 and R2 are parallel, like that we have to take. But Zin is equals to Z0 for our transmission line. Zin is equivalent also Z0 characteristic impedance. It maintains the transmission line. The output maintains the Z0, input maintains the Z0 of the transmission line. So that's why we assumed as Zin is equals to Z0. Zin is equals to Z0. So for that, Z0 is equals to Z1 by 2 plus Z2 into Z1 by 2 plus Z0. So Z2 plus Z1 by 2 plus Z0, where we are substituting Zin is equals to Z0. See here, this Zin is going to be LHS Z0. This Zin is going to be Z0. So now this Z0 into, you are doing LCM. So finally we are getting 2 Z0 of Z2 plus Z1 by 2 plus Z0 is equals to Z1 times Z2 plus Z1 by 2 plus Z0 plus 2 Z2. See, this 2 is multiplied here cross. So LCM we are doing, while LCM 2 Z2 Z1 by 2 plus Z0. So 2 Z0 into Z2 plus here 2 to get cancelled, Z0 into Z1 multiplication. This term is multiplied this 3 times. So 2 Z0 into Z0, 2 Z0 square is equals to Z1 into Z2 plus Z1 into Z1 square by 2 plus Z1 into Z0 plus 2 Z2 Z1 by 2 to get cancelled plus 2 Z0 into Z2. So the impedance 2 times of Z0 square is equals to 2 Z1 into Z2 plus Z1 square by 2. So from this equation you have to Z0 square is equals to what you will get from this equation. See, so here Z1 square by 4 plus Z1 into Z2. Z1 into Z2. This 2 is simply comes to here, 2 into 2 4, 2 get cancelled, Z1 into Z2. This is the result applicable for equivalent symmetrical T circuit. Hence, Z0 for equivalent T section of the finite line is Z0 is equals to square root of Z1 square by 4 plus from here Z0 equivalent Z0 for equivalent T section. So what you will get, Z0 is equals to square root of Z1 square by 4 plus Z1 into Z2. So you see here, but the Z1 and Z2 practically two measurements are done. The input impedance is measured under two conditions. These two conditions are open circuit and short circuit. Let's see in open circuit what happens. In open circuit, the line is kept open and the input impedance is measured, which is denoted as ZOC. In open circuit, we are assuming Zin is equal to ZOC. So that open case ZOC is equals to here. This is the open case circuit. So once ZOC is equals to, if it is open, what happens? Open in the sense Z1 by 2 plus Z2. This impedance is present towards the ZOC representation. ZOC is equals to open. There is a no connection of load here. So ultimately this is the open side. Input side is the ZOC is equal to Z1 by 2 plus Z2. Only these two resistors are equivalent to the ZOC. So in short circuit case, if it is short circuit, what we call ZSC, we call ZSC. If it is open, ZOC. So ZSC is equals to your load will be short. That's why we are short circuit case. ZSC. Previous it is open. Load is open. So that's why ZOC. So ZSC is equals to, see again, Z1 by 2 plus this Z2 parallel to Z1 by 2. So Z1 by 2, it is a like R1 parallel to R2, R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. So that is Z1 by 2 of Z1 by 2 plus Z2. So like after multiplication and simplification, you will get Z1 square by 4 plus Z1 Z2 by 2 plus Z1 into Z2 by 2. So by Z1 by 2 plus Z2 is equal to Z1 square by 4 plus Z1 into Z2 by Z1 by 2 plus Z2. So ZSC is equals to Z0 square by ZOC. So then Z0 square is equals to ZOC into ZSC. So ultimately Z0 is equals to, finally ZAC is equal to Z0 square by ZOC. The relation we are substituting here. See, this is equals to Z0 square. This numerator is equals to, already we saw in the previous equation, Z0 is equals to square root of this. So Z0 square is a relation. By ZOC it is equals to, already we saw Z open circuit impedance. This is open. So for that, the relation Z0 square is equals to ZOC into ZAC. So finally Z0 is equals to characteristic impedance. Z0 is equals to square root of ZOC into ZAC. So thus the characteristic impedance of a finite line is the geometric mean of the open and short circuit impedances. Open and short circuit impedance. So let me see some example problem. Find the characteristic impedance of a line. Find the characteristic impedance of the line 1600 edge if the following measurements have been made on the line at 1600 edge. So they are given ZOC open circuit impedance 750 at an angle of minus 30 degrees. ZSC is given 600 at an angle of minus 20 degrees, 20 degree ohms. The characteristic impedance is given by Z0 is equals to ZOC into ZSC. See, we are multiplying. So how you will get Z0? Z0 is equals to square root of ZOC into ZSC. So that is 750 at an angle of minus 30 degrees into 600 at an angle of minus 20 degrees. So you have to multiply this 750 into 600, you will get this one. The angle, this theta 1, theta 2 are going to be added. So 30 minus 30 plus of minus 20 minus 50 degree. So finally you get the resultant answer 670.82 at an angle of minus 25 degree. So currents and voltages along an infinite line. Now let me see current and voltages along the infinite line. So for that infinite line, here we are showing infinite line. So the line is terminated Z0. So it is see the dotted lines represent up to our line is going to be infinite. So that's why it is a end of the infinite line we are connected Z0. See, it is really possible in the real life? No, doesn't possible. It does not possible, but infinite line it is not possible. Assumed as to be infinite line length of line of this transmission line Z0 we are taking. So let us we take and observe what is the relation. For that we are studying. So here source voltage or sending voltage ES. The points we are assuming A point, B point, C point, D point, like that. The current is first initially sending current IS, the total current that at particular this instant, then this instant I1, this instant I2, this instant I3. So each and every point distance it maintains 1 kilometer. See, this in the transmission line is so far length up to infinity. Generally we are assuming here. So we are taking the points 1 kilometer to 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer to 1 kilometer. So for this transmission line, the voltage ES is applied at the sending end, the line at A. So already we discussed A, B, B, C, C, D, etc. identical number of sections. So and so it is that explanation of the transmission line. See, at point B, which is unit length down the line, let the current be I1. Due to the losses in the line, this current is less than the sending end current IS. See, this current is always current rate is flow of electron charge rate is less than this. Why? Because losses are there. So nothing but flow of electron rate is less, in the sense current also less. So that's why IS is more current than I1. I1 is more current than I2. I2 is more current than I3. So and so up to IN. IN is very less current compared to this all current. Why? Because the infinite length of line is going to be a die. The current levels are very fall. So the line is terminated as characteristic impedance Z0, while the input impedance at the sending end is also Z0. Each section is terminated by the input impedance of the following section. So like that we have to discuss. Hence the line is cascaded connection, symmetrical T section, equivalent section. So again we are taking each and every section symmetrical T section, we are taking each and every section. So already we studied symmetrical T section, Z1 by 2, Z1 by 2, these arms. This arm is Z2. So again Z1 by 2, Z1 by 2, Z2, like that identical sections we are replaced with this T-type network. So as per the current division in parallel circuit, we can write as I1 is equals to, see, this current is I1, this current is I1. I1 is equals to, we are taking first section of the transmission line. So for that IS is entering, first section current is entering IS. So IS. So this current is flowing I1. This is the I1. So for that here Z1 by 2, Z1 by 2, Z2, Z0, like that is we are taking one identical section, that is 1 kilometer. Here each and every section kilometer. So I1 is equals to IS into this total current into this Z2 by Z1 by 2 plus Z0 plus Z2, this total resistance. So we know the current division formula. This I1 is equals to total current into that particular resistance by total resistance. See, I1 is flowing this branch, this opposite resistance is by this. So from ultimately Is by I1 is equals to Z1 by 2 plus here Z2 plus Z0 by Z2. So but already we know Is by I1 is equals to e power gamma. So our currents are phasors. Here our current is EM wave energy. Our current is in terms of electron energy with high frequency. So high frequency electron energy means we expect it has phase and it has attenuation constant. Phase constant and attenuation constant. So that's why our current also, it is a coming to small circuit elements, general electronic circuit elements, analog circuits and digital circuits, those are scalar. Is the only current it has. No phase is there in that case. So but here for a DC there is a no phase. AC maybe it has phase. See here, this is a, we are studying with the high frequency electron energy, high frequency EM wave signal we are sending through the transmission line. Definitely we expect is a phase constant and attenuation constant. That's why our currents also related to phase constant and attenuation constants. Is by I1 is equals to e power gamma, where gamma is equals to alpha plus j beta. So e power gamma is equals to, here we are substituting e power gamma, then LHS to RHS. So if we have to simplify this Z1 by 2 plus Z0. So what happens? 1 plus Z1 by 2 Z2 plus Z0 by Z2. So if gamma is equal to, what happens from this above equation? Log of 1 plus Z1 by 2 Z2 plus Z0 by Z2. This is the expression for gamma in terms of Z1 and Z2. So for that, for the next section, this is the first section, Is to I1. So similarly, I1 to I2 also, I1 by I2 is equal to e power gamma. Then finally we expect e power gamma is equals to this only. So next section also we are equivalently writing here 1 plus Z1 by 2 Z2 plus Z0 by Z2. So for that, similarly I2 to I3 also e power gamma. So for next section. So up to n section we have to go, n minus 1 by n section. See e power gamma everywhere, every time, every section, one current to next current, the ratios is equivalent to the e power gamma, one section to another section currents. So for that, Is by I1 is equals to e power gamma, Is by I2 is equals to, in terms of Is by I1, I1 by I2, e power gamma into e power gamma, it is going to be e power 2 gamma. So here Is by I3 is equals to Is by I1, I1 by I2, I2 by I3. Again e power gamma into e power gamma into e power gamma, e power 3 gamma. So for that, finally, thus in generally Is by In is equals to Is by I1 into I1 by I2 into I2 by I3 into so and so In minus 1 by In is equals to e power n gamma up to n gamma. So In is equals to, from this equation what we write, In is comes to here, Is is here, Is by e power minus e power x is becomes e power minus x. See, by e power x means we can write it as e power minus x. So this is comes to here, this comes to here. So 1 by e power n gamma means e power minus n gamma. So see here, this is an important relation which gives current at any point. This is gives the current at any point on the line in terms of sending end current and the propagation constant of the line. See, you have to, this is the nth section current. So if n is equals to 1, you get the first section current. N is equals to 2, second section. N is equals to 3, third section. N is equals to 4, fourth section. So like that, you get at any point of the transmission line current from this relation. So now here the In represents the current at a point which in n unit lengths. See, n unit length we are taking first unit, second unit, third unit section, fourth unit section up to n unit sections. The infinite line and gamma is propagation constant per unit length. So now in terms of voltage, see here at all the points along the line, the ratio of the voltage and corresponding current is equals to the characteristic impedance. See, characteristic impedance always equals to that section of voltage to that section of current. See, the starting section, sending section ES by IS, Z not equal. First section E1 voltage, current I1, it is equal. See, every section voltage to current ratio must and should be equals to the characteristic impedance of the transmission line. This is says. So this transmission line characteristic impedance is key role for every section. For every section it has same ideally. So ES by IS is equals to, we can write it as EN by IN. So ES by EN is equals to, here from the relation again EN is equals to this comes to here. So ES by e power minus n gamma, where En is the voltage at a distance of n unit length. Where En is the voltage at the distance of n unit lengths. So this is the thing. So ES is the sending end voltage. So that's why it gives this equation gives the each and every section voltage potential, E1, E2, E3, so and so up to n sections. So now let us look into attenuation and phase constant now. So attenuation and phase constant. It is seen that gamma is the propagation constant, which is the complex quantity. It can be represented as gamma is equals to alpha plus j beta. So e power gamma is equals to, we can write it as e power alpha plus j beta. So it is in terms of e power alpha into e power j beta. So now e power j beta can be expressed using Euler's relation. We know the mathematically e power gamma is equals to e power alpha into e power j beta. It is in the form of e power I theta. E power I theta mathematically cos theta plus I sin theta. So here e power j beta. So cos beta plus j sin beta. So e power alpha into this magnitude we are taking square root of cos square beta plus sin square beta at an angle of tan inverse y by this sin beta by cos beta. We know that polar at an angle, polar form. This is expressed, this is obtained by expressing rectangular form into polar, So e power gamma is equals to LHS e power alpha into at an angle of, here simplification, tan inverse of this is the tan beta. So again tan get cancelled at an angle of beta. So IS by I1 is equals to, finally our current ratio is equal to is the e power alpha attenuation at an angle of phase constant beta. So here magnitude is IS by I1 is equal to, magnitude is e power alpha, angle is IS by I1, angle is beta. So finally from this equation alpha is equals to again log of IS by I1. So this alpha is known as the attenuation constant per unit length. Alpha is always attenuation constant per unit length, not for all transmission line. Per section some attenuation constant is there. Per section, each and see n sections having n per unit length. Suppose one section is 1 kilometer, so attenuation loss per 1 kilometer. Suppose one section you are assumed half kilometer, attenuation per this section. Suppose you take one section is a 5 meters, so attenuation loss decibels per this 5 meters. Or suppose you are taking 1 meter length of attenuation, so some decibels per 1 meter length of attenuation. Whatever you are taking the length sections, based on that section, that attenuation it gives that particular section. Same as phase constant also. Phase constant also wavelength constant per unit length. So that is phase constant is phase constant is the radians per unit length. See, this is the phase constant, radians per unit length. Radians per unit length. It is the phase constant. It is a very important factor for this transmission line analysis. Attenuation is attenuation constant per unit length. Attenuation constant per unit length of the line. It is the units are Nepper per kilometer. Nepper per kilometer. See, the wavelength constant or phase constant is the same. Wavelength constant or phase constant. Wavelength constant or phase constant, the radians per unit length. Attenuation constant is Neppers per meter. See, alpha has Neppers per meter. Alpha. This is alpha. If beta is equals to radians per length. Radians per length in the sense radians per meter. This is important. Attenuation constant, phase constant of the transmission line is very, very important. So how much attenuation is, what it is represents, how much attenuation is going on the transmission line, how much attenuation it is signal gets in that particular section, how much attenuation in the sense loss, signal loss, how much loss of the signal while transmitting in the transmission line. So that is represent attenuation loss. It is a beta. How much radiation, how much radians per meter, how much radians per meter it represents, it gives the beta of the transmission line. So beta is equals to how much radians per meter length, how much loss per meter length, it gives the attenuation constant. It is a phase constant of the transmission line. So finally IS by I1, IN is equals to IS by I1 into I1 by I2, so and so IN minus 1 by IN. So e power n alpha, n gamma, gamma is equals to alpha plus j beta. So then we can written as it is in terms of like this multiplication. IS by IN is equals to e power n alpha at an angle of this n beta. So the attenuation of such line is thus n alpha Neppers, while the phase shift is n beta radians. So this is the attenuation. See, this is the attenuation. Magnitude is represented the attenuation. This angle is represented the radians. See, beta, how much radians per that meter length. How much attenuation? See, it depends upon the this n value and alpha. See, 1 Nepper is equals to generally 8.6 dB. So almost 8.5 dB 1 Nepper is equals to. 1 radian is equals to, already we know, 57.3 degrees. So in case infinite line or a short line terminated in its characteristic impedance and having propagation constant gamma, the current at any point which x units from sending end is given as Ix is equals to, let n is equals to, we are substituting x, so In is equals to Is into e power minus n gamma, where n is equal to some section x, so Is into e power minus alpha x at an angle of beta x, where simply we are replacing n is equals to certain x length. So same here also n is equals to certain x length, n is equals to. So this is the thing. So finally what we concluded here today. So the attenuation constant and phase constant are, here we have to achieve Is by In is equals to e power n alpha attenuation constant at an angle of n beta. See, voltage is Es into, similarly here voltage, like this voltage. See here Ix by Is is equals to e power minus gamma x. So like that. Same is the correlated. See, the equations are correlated. Ix, Ex. Is sending current, sending voltage. E power minus gamma x, e power minus gamma x. The correlated both equations, current and voltage. So that is the attenuation. How the current gets to be attenuated, how the phase constant is varied, how the voltage is varies attenuation, gets the attenuation in the transmission line, how the voltage variation in terms of phase constant, like that today we discuss. Next class we will look into the next topic.